So for the first derivative we know is dy over dx. For the second derivative will be d2y over dx2. And you can say, why don't you put 2 here? Because to get to this, we are differentiating in front here. So that's why that's the notation. Okay? It's d2y over dx2. Okay, so are we choosing? Are you choosing? Or am I choosing?
You picked the first one.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. I love it. Okay, I'm on page 7, I think. Okay, I would like to start with a quotient. Like, for example, 12. Like g, oh, it's lowercase. So g of, no, it's uppercase. G of u equals 6u squared minus 5u divided by u plus 1. Perfect. So in this problem, I cannot simplify, I cannot factor. Even if I factor, I cannot simplify with the denominator. I always analyze that first. First, I look at the function. By inspection, I don't even have a marker in my hand. I look. Okay. Can I simplify anything? No. Can I factor out anything? No. What rule do I apply? That's my next question. What rule I apply here for this one?
Bullshit.
Yes. I will, in my mind, think of this as number 1, and I will, in my mind, because we're not going to do this all the time, just the first time. So in my mind, this is number 1 and this is number 2. So then g prime of u, I will start immediately with the denominator because I don't have to do anything to it other than square it. But now I have to be careful because I have, the formula says 1 prime multiplied by 2 and then minus 1 multiplied by 2 prime. Can anyone give us a derivative of the numerator? I see some of you are having difficulties. Is it at my end? Am I doing something? Or is it just your internet? Am I doing something, Harrison? You may be muted. Maybe you're speaking, but you're muted. Okay, can anyone give us the derivative of the numerator?
12u minus 5.
Yes. Now I have to copy the denominator. I have to copy the numerator. And now can anyone give us the denominator prime?
1.
Exactly. I don't even have to write it. I could say, at this point you can leave it alone, but I will not say it again, ever. Because once we get to chapter 4, we can no longer leave this alone, like I mentioned before. So I'm going to continue. Do not try to simplify in a sum or a difference. As I mentioned a long time ago, if you stick with this class, you will learn algebra, pre-calculus, and calculus. Do not ever attempt to simplify u plus 1 with u plus 1, because u plus 1 is not a factor in the numerator. So please do not do that. Do not ever expand the denominator. I saw it in your work several times, although I said it many times. Please do not expand this. It has to stay as u plus 1 squared. Now here this is the product, so I have to multiply. Here it's easy, I only multiply by 1. So here I have to distribute. So I have 12u squared plus 12u minus 5u and minus 5. Here I only have to distribute negative 1, so minus 6u squared and plus 5u. I'm going to try and clean it up. I'm hoping that some terms go away, but this is not a difference quotient. They don't have to go away. We're not talking about a difference quotient here. We're just simplifying the derivative. So,
Don't mind me asking.
stop me anytime. Yes?
Why must we keep the denominator unsimplified? Or unexpanded, sorry.
Because you will never be able to simplify. If it's factored, we work very hard to keep it factored and to have it factored. If you expand it, you will never be able to simplify. Maybe a factor of u plus 1 appears at the top and I will not know.
I see. Thank you.
So, thank you. So, never touch the denominator. We want it factored. Okay, so I see that these two go away. The 12u squared minus 6u squared, I have a 6u squared. The 12u is 12u, and then minus 5. And then u plus 1, everything squared. This is it. And there is nothing else we can do here. 6 times 5 is 30. Can I get a 12 from 30? 15. 15 and 2. Nope. I can't simplify. I cannot factor. Even if I could, there is no factor of u plus 1 at the top. So this is indeed final. And you will see what we do with this in chapter 4. So this was a quotient. How do you feel about the quotient rule?
Good.
Okay. So now let's choose a product so we can. The product is easier, of course. Let's look at the product. Anyone would like to choose a product? Although, as I said, for example, for 19, I will definitely distribute and then differentiate. For 20, I will do the same thing. I will definitely distribute and then differentiate. So this is an interesting one. If you want, it's up to you. Would you like to choose? Will anyone like to choose a product in which we will not distribute but use the product rule?
21 looked good.
Okay, let's do 21 then. Okay, so we have v of t equals t plus 2e to t, and then multiply by the square root of t. Okay, perfect. First I look. First I inspect. I don't start anything before I look at this function. Normally I would have distributed and simplified, but let's say we don't do that right now. Then I will say, okay, I see a product. This is a function, this is my function 1, and this is my function 2. So I have to use the product rule. So then v prime of t will be, I have to differentiate this. Can anyone differentiate t plus 2e to t for us?
1 plus 2e to t.
That's it. The product rule says times the second function plus copy the first function and now times the second function prime. And remember, this is one of the rules. I say please blink. Blink and tell me what it is.
1 over 2 times root t.
That's it. So normally I would say leave it alone for now, but in the next chapter, as I said, we will have to simplify it for you. But for now, it's okay. Okay, anything else you would like to illustrate? Another product, another quotient, or we look at other types of problems still in this section? Do we need to illustrate with another product or quotient? Okay, then I would like to look at, you can stop, you can change your mind anytime, it's okay. I would like us to look at something like this. Choose anything you want from here. Or 47, or 48. Let's illustrate and see what that means, what we're asked to do there. Anyone?
Yeah, I think 47 is good.
Okay, 47. So in 47, we have f of x equals e to x multiplied by a function g of x that we do not have. but we are told that g of 0 is 2 and g prime of 0 is 5, and we're asked to find f prime of 0. Perfect pick. I don't think anyone in the past picked this one. Good. Awesome. So we are given a function that is the product of two functions. We are given some information here, and we're asked to find f prime of 0. There is nothing I can simplify. There is nothing I can do about this, but I have to think about f prime of 0. So what does it mean? What am I asked to do? What will be my first step? Before you answer, I want to give you a hint. We start class on Monday, and I ask you, please find t of 3. What would you say? I'm asking you to find t of 3. What would you say to me?
What's t?
Exactly. You would ask, give us function t, without which you cannot determine t of 3. What is this? It means nothing if I don't have, or if I don't give it a function. So the silly example is for this. How do I find f prime of 0? What do I have to find first? For sure.
F prime.
Of course. If I don't have f prime, how can I plug in 0? In what? Excellent. So here's our f. And we want to find f prime of x. Can anyone guide us through f prime of x? Remember, we cannot simplify, but we have to analyze what it is in order to pick and apply the correct rule. What is it? And what rule we apply?
So we're going to be applying the product rule?
I'm ready. Anyone who would like to try?
But it's going to be e to the x times g to the x, or g of x.
Awesome.
Plus g prime of x times e of x.
Yes. Awesome. Now I can plug in 0. Everywhere I see x, I plug in 0. Now I can. And then I will go back to what the problem is giving us. So I know that this is what? What does these two, what do these two equal to? Yes, 1 and 1. I have g of 0. They were giving us g of 0 as being 2. They were giving us g prime of 0 as being 5. And now we have the answer. Although we don't even have function g, but we had to have some information about g. So what would be the final answer for f prime of 0?
It will be equal to 7.
Yes, which means we don't have anything, but what I'm saying is, let's say the function is this. The slope of the tangent line to the graph of function f at 0 is 7. The rate of change of the function at this point is 7. Awesome. I'd like us to look at some graphs here. I see graph here, and I see graph here. And we want to choose either A or B. Either A or B, doesn't matter, just choose one graph.
52.
Well, we want to use 52. I would like to print it out. So allow me 1 second to print it. Do I have the pen printer plugged in? Nope, I don't have the printer plugged in. But I will plug it in if I can get the cord to cooperate. Yes, now it's almost plugged in. Because I was printing out from the other device. So that's why Yes, you can say you could do it wireless. Yes, I could. But it's an old printer that I like and I don't want to get rid of yet. Okay. Good. So now it's going to print. So now my question is, which one we prefer? Do we want to determine part A or part B? A. So we want to find P prime of 2. And let's see what they're giving us. Okay, I got it. So we want to find P prime of 2. So this is problem 52. So we want P prime of 2. And they're giving us that P of x is the product. So P of x is f of x times g of x. Awesome. Perfect. So they're giving us this function. They're asking us to find P prime of 2. What do I have to determine first?
Your cameras.
Yes, because I realized why. I touched my cords in here. Okay, I hope it's back. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it was back. It was back. Good. Okay, perfect. So what do we have to determine first?
What P prime of x is.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I even covered. So that was your hint. So we have to find P prime of x first. Yes. Awesome. So then can anyone give us P prime of x?
F prime of x times g of x plus g prime of x times f of x.
Yes. I like, you can, absolutely what you said is perfect. But I like 1, 2, 1, 2. You like 1, 2, 2, 1. Fine. Perfectly acceptable. Okay, so now I can plug in 2. So I want f prime of 2 times g of 2 plus f of 2 times g prime of 2. Awesome. Now let's see what this means. F of 2, very easy. So this is f. So f of 2. So 1, 2, 3. So f of 2 is 3. Now the other one is g. Let me use this color. So this is g, and we want g of 2. G of 2 is 2. But now the question is, what does f prime of 2 mean? What does f prime of 2 mean? What does this represent? Yes?
The slope of the tangent line.
At 2. Awesome. Thank you. So here's 2. The slope of the tangent line here is how much? 0. Awesome. Thank you so much. Now what does g prime of 2 mean? Slope at 2. Okay. Right here. Rise of a run. So I see that I see this point. I use it because it's at the corner of the grid. Very easy to read. I see this. I will use it because it's at the corner of the grid. I need the rise and the run. The rise is 2 units and the run is
4.
4. 2 over 4 because it's positive. Otherwise it would have been negative. But it's positive. 2 over 4. So this is 2/4 or 1/2. 0 times 2 is 0. 3 times 1/2 is 3/2. This is the slope of the tangent line to the graph of P, which we don't even have. We don't even know what it is. At 2, the slope is 3/2. Any